You see this button right here on this lens? This is known as the focus hold button. If you're looking at any Sony lenses, whether they're G series, G Master, you're gonna see that a lot of these lenses have this mysterious button on the barrel of the lens. And essentially all it is a customizable button. Just like your camera bodies have a custom button that you can go in the menus and you can assign certain features to those buttons, your lens actually has that as well. Now I've got the 24mm G Master lens here, has a single focus hold button. Pretty easy for you to be able to reach that when you're shooting. Certain lenses, like for example, the 70-200 G Master version 2, this one you'll notice actually has 1, 2, 3 different focus hold buttons. So it makes it a lot easier if you're shooting landscape, if you're shooting portrait, you could actually reach the button relatively easily. Sometimes when I'm shooting video, it's a lot easier for me to reach for this focus hold button for certain features. And so one of the questions that I get all the time is, what do you set your focus hold button to do? You could set it to focus hold, that's how it's set up out of the box. But there are three different ways that I would recommend to you if you're shooting video. You might want to consider setting your focus hold button in the menus to these features. The first one that I would recommend is to set that button to movie shooting mode. Now, certain cameras, for example, like the Sony FX3, they have a record button on the front of the camera. So if I'm shooting a video like this, it's really easy for me to reach out, touch that record button, and I'm ready to go. On other cameras, the Alpha series cameras, the record button is on top of the camera. Sometimes it could be a little bit more difficult to reach that button when you're recording in front of the camera. So why not actually set your focus hold button to be your start and stop whenever you're shooting videos? You could simply push that focus hold button to start recording, push it again to stop recording. It's a really good option if you are shooting video to set that focus hold button to movie shooting mode. Another idea for that focus hold button is to set it up for focus magnification. If you go into the menus, you could set it up for focus magnifier, and by doing this, once you press that button, it's going to punch into the image so that you can verify if you have whatever your subject is, if it's in focus. And it's just a lot easier for you to be able to access that feature if you assign it to that button. So this next idea might be something that's really good for vloggers, for people that are holding things up to the camera. Sony Alpha cameras have amazing eye autofocus, but there's gonna be certain times where you don't want your camera to track the eyes. For example, if I'm doing a video and I'm talking to you about this lens, well, I'm looking at the monitor here off camera. If I hold this thing up, you're gonna notice that if I cover my eye, it'll focus on the product. But if I put this down, it's gonna switch back to eye autofocus. So I could be talking about this lens and you're not really going to be able to see it sharply, especially because I'm shooting at f1.4. So one of the things that you could do is you could set that focus hold button to face and eye priority select. By pushing that button, you could actually turn off eye autofocus. So if you're shooting a video and you're holding something up to the camera and you want it to stop tracking the eye because you want it to track the thing that you're actually holding up to the camera, you could just push that button, you could toggle that off and on, and it's a really, really great option if you are creating that type of content. All right, so I'm curious, if you shoot video, what do you set your focus hold button to do? Let us know in the comments section. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so, because we release new videos here all the time. And listen, there's a lot of great videos here on the channel, but this is a video that I think that you'll find interesting. Be sure to check it out, and I'll see you there.